Hi, I'm Dave Nappi, physical therapist again. This is my return to I was my first operating following the non-vibration procedure with internal brace and going over kind of what's occurred in the after immediately after surgery and over the past 2 weeks since the surgery. Again, this is not a professional opinion. This is also my personal experience with this procedure and what I went through, and may not apply to what the experience after the procedure to opt for this type of surgery. Also, the advice that I give is really more so than my professional opinion based on my current experience. It's always important to follow your best operative protocol that's given directly by the surgeon to uh, be able to recover it based on what they found during surgery and also what they expect based on what they've seen and evaluated is your specific bed. So the day after surgery, I was experiencing a lot of discomfort and pain in my ankle. Again, they put you in a posterior split. And so when they put me in the split, initially I had a lot of swelling. That swelling actually went down over about 2 days. But then the first night when I had a lot of swelling, it was just very uncomfortable in my ankle. The nerve block wore off after about 24 hours. So I got the nerve block around 9 a.m. on Friday. The second wore off by afternoon on the first day after surgery. So after that, I was experiencing some discomfort, a lot of it in the outside of my lower leg and also my ankle. It just felt very sore and also felt like there's some pressure inside the action joint. What that found is more so because of the fluids after the swelling. With the procedure itself being aggressive to the outside ankle, they were reconstructing ligaments, they're tightening it all up. And so that does cause trauma for the outside of the ankle. My experience was that's kind of what I experienced most of it. I took the oxy that they prescribed for that one day. After that, actually, the pain subsided fairly well. Actually, I was actually elevating my leg every night, um, and so I was using the things that I bought before surgery. This thing I do is a pillow that I talked about before. I was actually having this on top of my bed, propping it up back there, and just letting my leg lay on top. So I was actually lying down my flat pretty much every night following this routine. It took some getting used to, but I felt like that was a big part of the swelling control because after that, I actually didn't have a lot of swelling. And how the reduction in swelling also with the reduction of pain. So that actually worked out very well. I only took one oxy after the first day, and then outside of that, it was a mostly good pain free for about 1 campaign on the first round. Pain scales themselves are very subjective, so I always when I talk to my patients about pain scale, I always say, choose the worst one they're experiencing in your life, and that's usually your problem, because that's the only thing they're good to. So in my experience, my thing that 1 and 2 had been worse. It was mostly this back bounce. After the first couple of days, swelling was controlled because I was elevating my leg. I was eating my essential. This is my essential that I bought. Again, put it on top of my foot and ankle, and then set it up with the cord and the outlet, and it's pump cold water and compress my foot and ankle. So that, in addition to the bolster, that actually helped with I could pain control and also swelling. Ambulation. I mean, honestly, the first day I didn't expect to fall, but I did fall. And I thought, well, I'm a physical therapist. I know how to use all these different devices, but I didn't realize how unfair that it was following the surgery because I was out. My balance was off. My ability to correct myself was off just because I didn't realize or I didn't really want to put a lot of pressure on my leg. Again, I just had surgery on it. And so after that, I was just taking things a little bit too aggressively, more so than I should have. And then when I was using this feeder, I made a quick turn and then it actually tipped over. So it tipped over, I fell off to the side. Thankfully, I didn't injure my ankle again. If I didn't break anything, thankfully, I didn't do anything that was going to harm the surgery. But at the same time, it was learning, never take for granted what you were able to do before and apply all that to what you are going to have to surgery because you're going to have to adapt. So all things aside, I was using all these different devices. I really wanted to get rid of the crutches quick because after about a day, these things are a nightmare in terms of I think it's hard to move around inside the house. They are better than just hopping on one leg. But of course, using these are you have to use arms a lot. And when you use your arms a lot, you kind of impair your ability to use your arms to do your daily tasks. So I ended up trying to use these less and rely more on my knee scooter or this high walk. Well, in terms of life-saving devices, you've probably seen other videos of people using this actually for VR vehicle. Honestly, it is probably one of the best devices for navigation around the house and you can potentially die. It is hard to use. There is a learning curve, I should say, with stairs. But outside of that, you can actually get around the house pretty quickly just using this, and it is up your arms. I could definitely do that, and some of the things with the use of it, you can see how bulky this thing is, how much space it takes up. So my house is very big in terms of the kitchen has small aisles, so you can kind of walk around the island. But this, I can't turn around in my kitchen with this. With this, however, the sidewalk, I can actually turn around in the kitchen with my sidewalk. Yeah, and so all throughout this process, about over the last 2 weeks, I was placing the splints, going back to the splints. As you can see, it's no longer a splint, it's a cast. But the splint that they gave me got loose after about 2 days because the swelling went down. And I was also starting to experience the pressure on the back foot of my heel. And I think this was because the splint, the way they molded it, there was probably a raised lip on the back part of my heel that was getting pressed on it. And so I just brought that up to my orthopedic surgeon. I worked it off there. Somebody said to come in on Saturday. So 8 days after surgery, they actually removed the splint. So I kind of showed the images of that removed my splint and also what it looked like after they did those, after the modified burst time. And then they put me in the spots. They asked me what colors I wanted. Well, I decided blue was my favorite color, so I decided to go for blue. I thought it'd be a little bit of a lighter blue, but here we are, blue and white. So, well, overall, it's actually a lot sturdier in this class. Because again, it's a fiberglass cast, and it's actually fairly rigid. So, before I had dogs, before my dogs were running around the house, and their fills and whackings, my cushy splint, that would actually cause my foot to shift a little bit in the splint because of how loose it was. And that caused me with pain whenever that happens. But with the cast, because how rigid it was, and realistically, I'm like getting my outside of my leg and inside my leg, outside the leg. And because of how rigid it is, it actually, most of the force is getting transmitted into my lower leg instead of my foot ankle. So actually, I'm very happy that they put me in the cast. What I'm not going to be happy about, and what I definitely am expecting, when they remove this cast because of how rigid it is and how limited motion you have inside of it, is that when they remove this cast, my calf is going to move, swell it up. I mean, I can really feel it. As a physical therapist, I can palpate my lower legs to feel and see kind of where muscle tension is and kind of where my muscles are. Well, my left leg is definitely getting a lot of weak. My calf was, I can feel the muscle in my calf on my left side. My right side, I'm actually just pulling all this tissue out. And I expected this, but it's one thing to expect, but also to feel it. And so I no doubt will see that my right leg is shrunken after they remove this. Uh, when we go into looking at recovery time, typically each work a little bit different on like the top of the protocol. Some will have you walking earlier, some will have you walking later. My ortho doc recommended not waiting for 4 weeks, so I'm week 2, and I still have another 2 more weeks to go. So, what's my post-op follow visit's going to be tomorrow. We're going to leave my class, and they're going to probably place it in a boot, but I'm still going to be non-weighted. So, yeah, the only difference between this and the boot at this point in time in my current protocol is that I'm just changing the time. I'm really not actually able to do anything different other than give my toes a little bit more because the boot's a little bit less restrictive than the capsies. But outside of that, I've suffered a couple weeks before I can walk again. Overall, the process hasn't been too bad, but it is worthwhile to set up, like I said in the first video, an environment so that you are not overdoing it. It's actually very, very important that your environment is set up so that you're not falling in the shower, you're not having to go up and down the stairs. And so for me, you're not having to navigate around the kitchen in a hazardous way so that you may fall. And also taking things slow. I took things too fast with the scooter and I fell. Day one. So you're most likely going to experience a learning curve trying to navigate after having one foot taken away from you during this post-operative protocol and post-operative recovery phase. But it's something that you'll adapt to really quick. Kind of going into each piece of equipment, throughout this process, I actually was taking a class to learn Italian. So the first couple of weeks, I still had to go to class, had to get outside my house, and was using this a lot outside the house because this is a lot easier. This new shooter is a lot easier in the clutch for long distance travel. And so I'd get dropped off at the library, and I would use this to go into my class. The problem with this is that if you don't have level surfaces, it's actually really hard to use this on unlevel surfaces like brick, cobblestone, broken up road. You will most likely feel like you're gonna fall using this outdoors unless you have bigger tires. I did not realize this when I bought this version. These are 7-inch tires at the largest diameter, and I wish I actually had bigger tires. Bigger tires would give a bit more support on those different types of surfaces compared to this. But outside of that, I couldn't change what I have, and I definitely wasn't going to spend another $200 to buy a different one at this point in time. Just suck it up and learn how to. For me, I was just sucking up and learning how to use it on those types of surfaces. Outside of that, again, 2 weeks out, I've only had to take Oxy once. I've been taking my Eliquis. Eliquis is really used for controlling septic DVT and wrist blood clotting. So I'm taking that every day, still take it every day, at least until I can get out of this fast. You are actually at a higher risk of developing a DVT because again, your foot's not very mobile. It's in attached, it's in the boot, in the splint, in the plummet of the movement. So blood can pull into the extremity. Also, it could actually become the static and become the blood flow, and you can actually get higher risk clotting. Same thing with the sedentary nature of kind of active surgery is that you'll most likely not be good as much. I mean, I'm in my house a lot, and I think being in my house a lot because for me, I like to do things outside of my house. So yeah, this has actually been a very big learning curve because everyone I talked to said, "Oh, babe, you gotta enjoy your time off." But time off is really spent recovering, and the longer you stay in your house, the more you want to be. So the only time I really go out is to either go to my Italian class, like I said, or take opportunities to leave the house, being when my wife gets out. So outside of that, it's just a process. Getting 2 weeks out, I am still in the process of recovery. Thankfully, there's not much pain. Again, everyone's experience will be a little bit different. And so I encourage you to consult with your medical professional if you are experiencing any complications following surgery, due to pain management, either with other symptoms that seem odd. If you actually fall and feel like you've had injury following that, I definitely would encourage you to follow up the ortho perfectionist who on there just so that they can make sure that everything's going well. Again, I'm doing my exercises every day. Hopefully, I also did all my exercises before surgery in terms of the pre-operating strengthening of my legs. And thank God I did. It is actually very difficult to navigate on crutches without arm strength. It is also difficult to angulate, even with the sidewalk that does help you move better. It is actually still very difficult because a lot of the pressure still is on your left leg. But if you do this here, you're obviously not pushing with your right, in my case, the right knee. I was using a ton of my left leg to propel myself forward. So you will find that whatever leg is not surgically operated on is going to be working really, really hard to adjust to the demands that you are now placing on it following surgery. And it may be strong enough if you have prepared it before surgery. In my case, I prepared it before surgery and it still was achy and sore. I still stretch every day. I still do all my leg exercises every day just to complete condition before I can start to walk again. In which case, I'll do more exercises, keep the strength a little bit more and mobilize a little bit more. But I can't stress enough. In that first video, I mentioned a couple of things that could definitely help with the postoperative recovery. Swelling management, elevate your leg, keep it up. Definitely as often as you can, as much as you can in the first couple of weeks. Keep days after surgery where everything's traumatized, the body's trying to heal. Point fifth thing up, that's number one, control the start. Number two is safety. Set up your environment again so that you are not at risk of re-injury or having issues with navigating around your house safely or in the shower. It's good. It's important that you make sure you do that because you don't want to have any other complications around you falling or you put inadvertent weight in your leg because you had to stand and move because you lost balance. But you don't want to. And really strengthening. The last thing I really want to emphasize is, because as a therapist, of course, I'm biased towards my profession, but when it comes down to it, there's some things that can help. Again, surgery is trauma in the area to fix an issue that's already an issue. So, what better way to condition those structures for that trauma than strengthening them rather than? So, can't stress that enough. Make sure you strengthen those areas before surgery. Strengthen the area that you won't do surgery operate on, so the other leg in the space. Strengthen that so that it can adapt to those ineds easier when you start to use these other types of devices that I mentioned. So, long story short, here in 2 weeks, looking good. Hopefully, all these things can be helpful to you in your situation. Again, my postoperative shortfall is going to be different, maybe depending on what you have a fear of surgery. But overall, You just want to make sure you can 5 to 10 operate correction because there's certain these that's going to be in your case. Um, if you like what I talked about today, feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel where I'll cover more of these topics. And overall, hopefully everything goes well with your recovery. Hopefully this information will be useful for you. And looking forward to seeing you then.